Shalom, beloved, and hopefully everyone is doing wonderful today. You know, family, I often say when you're ready, the Most High will reveal things to you that you have seen, but you have not really given much thought to. And, often I talk about, gardening, right? I like to be in my garden. And sometimes I share videos of a walkthrough in the garden. And I know a lot of us have celebrated or is celebrating the Feast of Tabernacles. And a while back, not a while back, but not long ago, I went to the store and I got a watermelon, and I know it's out of season, right? I know watermelon is out of season, even though I have a few small watermelons in my garden. And anyway, I went to the store to get this watermelon, and I should have done my due diligence and read even more so into this company that, it's to have watermelon. But again, I had a taste for some watermelon, and I'm still waiting on mine to finish, the few that I have left to finish. And once I cut into this thing, I was like, nah. There was no seeds. And, and I sit back and I looked at the garden, and then the Most High started revealing things. Things just started making sense. And I'm pretty sure, again, some of you guys have already had this revelation. All praise the Most High for those that did. But again, like I said, the Most High is wonderful. It's His mercy, His grace, His wisdom, His law, His statutes, commandments, His covenant. When you start to really see these things, especially when we start going back to, the language which was stolen us, stripped from us, you begin to see things even deeper, right? So before I get into this, let me start off by giving all glory and honor to the Heavenly Father, the Creator of the universe, Yah, and to His Son, Yeshua HaMashiach, the heir. And also like to send out a greeting to the brothers and sisters that are trying to teach the children of the diaspora, and also to the Gentile that are gathered with us in sincerity. To you guys, I say shalom. So like I say, family, I had went to this Kroger's, and I got this watermelon, and once I cut into it, I was like, nah, and it just started jumping out at me, and it's like the repeat of some things in Genesis, right? As I mean, again, you can see how things are connected, right? It's a repeat. There's nothing new under the sun. But most people don't pay attention because, again, we're so distracted by the noise and by the foolishness and whatever else garbage they have out there that we really don't see. So anyway, family, let me start off with Genesis. Let's start off in Genesis chapter 1, verse 11, right? And it reads, and Elohim said, let the earth bring forth grass, the herb yielding seed, and the fruit tree yielding fruit after his kind, whose seed is in itself upon the earth. And it was so. And the earth brought forth the grass and the herb yielding seeds after his kind, and the tree yielding fruit, whose seed was in itself after his kind. And Elohim saw that it was good. And again, like I said, family, it just got me thinking about, again, when getting in the garden, it started making me think about the seed and stuff like that. And, things that start, just opening up and revealing itself even more so. Especially when I cut that watermelon open and there was no seeds in it. And then it made me think about also, it made me think about Genesis chapter 3. And let's get that right fast. Genesis chapter 3, verse 17. And excuse me, because some of my words are cut off in my Bible, because again, I mean, I use this Bible all the time, and you know, but anyway, let's read through this, right? And unto Adam he said, because thou hast hearkened unto the voice of thy wife, and hast eaten of the tree of which I commanded thee, saying, thou shalt not eat of it. Cursed be the ground for thy sake, and sorrow shalt thou eat of it all the days of thy life. So the Most High cursed the ground, and that's the same thing was going on with these people right now, because people are not listening to the Most High. These people put all kinds of insecticides and pesticides and things when the Most High gave us this stuff naturally, and they're killing the ground, and so now they're rushing things. They're not letting the ground heal itself. They're not letting nature take its course, and again, like I said, let the ground rest. Everything is genetically modified and stuff like that. And again, that's why I choose to try to grow my own food as much as possible. And again, there's certain things that I don't have, and again, you know, it's such a challenge, because again, those that see it, we see a repeat of Genesis, right? We see a repeat of Genesis even on a broader scale with, the genetically modified food and things of that nature, and how things are really out of balance. But anyway, I'm going to show you something. And this is all this stuff was happening, and it's, giving me all these revelations, right? And I hope you can see this here. Hopefully you can see that. You can see that says 50 days to harvest, right? Here's another package, right? And it says, again, 50 days to harvest. Now, most of some of these are old packs, right? But again, those seeds, when the fruit came from those seeds and vegetables, I actually were able to take the seeds and then next year plant them and produce. And again, I've had brothers tell me that there's no real seeds out there. And again, I tend not to listen to people that really don't do their own due diligence, man. We got to stop regurgitating what people just say, man, and do our own due diligence. In fact, I have these pear tomatoes. I have this pear tomato plant, and I'm pretty sure some of you guys that have seen the videos of when I do of my garden, those pear tomatoes are actually pear tomatoes, actually even from the last property that my wife and I had. They're not seeds. And what we do is we take those, once we're going to, again, fall, the fall harvest, some of those fruit we leave on the plant. And what we do is once they get ripe enough, we just plant them in the ground, and they will stay there dormant until winter. I mean, after winter's over, and once spring come up, they come up healthy. I mean, we've been doing this here for, at least since we've been at this property, we've been at this property almost 3 years. But this is why, again, it's amazing, because, again, like I say, family, I'm looking at what the Most High is doing. I don't really pay attention to man. I really don't. I mean, I see what people are doing, again, and I don't want to get off track. But at the end of the day, we have to be able to block out the noise. We have to be able to block out, the foolishness. And like I said, family, we know there's there's genetically modified stuff that's out there. But at the same time, there are a lot of still organic stuff that the Most High, give us, fruit in vegetables and herbs and spices that generate their own seeds, right? And I try my best, again, I try my best to pay attention to nature. And when it's time for to harvest these things, where I can stay abreast, right? And continue to be able to not only get the things that the Most High created for us in the beginning, but also now, like I said, this revelation that's going on. Like I said, again, right here, dealing with the seed, and again, everything just started coming and making sense. So I tell you what, let's move forward. I want to go to I want to go to the book of Exodus. We're going to go to the book of Exodus chapter 23, and I'm gonna read from 14 all the way to 16, but I really just want to focus on one aspect once we get through this. Exodus chapter 23, starting off at verse 14. 3 times a year, 3 times thou shalt keep the feast to me in the year. Thou shalt keep the feast of unleavened bread. Thou shalt eat unleavened bread 7 days, as I commanded thee, in the time appointed of the month of Abib. For in it thou comest out of Egypt, and none shall appear before me empty. And the feast of harvest, the fruit of thy labor which thou hast sown in the field, and the feast of ingathering, which is in the end of the year, when thou hast gathered in thy labor out of the field. Again, like I said, when I start looking at, the 50 days of harvest, which goes into Pentecost, and then now we're at the end of the year, and it just made, again, things just started, all this stuff just started going through my head and stuff like that. And again, I'm pretty sure most of you guys already know what I'm getting at, when I talk about the seed. Talk about the seed, right? And again, this is why the language that they strip from us is so important, because again, we miss a lot of this stuff. Again, I'm still trying to learn and go back to the original language. It's sad to say this again, and I hope I don't step on anybody's toes, or people get, all people are so sensitive about, when you say things, but even the language that we are trying to, we're trying to speak now, and I'm not talking about English, I'm talking about the so-called Hebrew. A lot of the brothers don't realize it's not really Hebrew, it's really Yiddish. And they're, our people on the continent, right? The continent that a lot of these, I'm going to say it out there, a lot of these organizations that look like us have demonized, a lot of those people over there speak the original language. So we have to go back. But anyway, that's a whole nother subject within itself. But again, like I said, it just made me think. And I'm like, here it is, when we start looking at nature, we start looking at the scriptures, we start looking at culture, we start looking at the prophecy, and there's all these patterns, there's all these similarities, there's all these things that are connected, right? And I tell you what, before we go a little further, let's do this. Let's go to Leviticus. Let's go to the book of Leviticus. The book of Leviticus, and again, Leviticus 23. And I want to start off at, also at verse 15. Leviticus 23, verse 15. And ye shall count unto you from the morrow after the Sabbath, from the day that ye bought the sheaf of the wave offering, 7 Sabbaths shall be counted. Right? We was reading basically the same thing in Exodus. Even unto the morrow after the 7th Sabbath shall ye number 50, and ye shall offer a new meat offering unto Yahweh. Again, you know, the sad thing about his family is all this, when we talk about the customs and the culture, and this is why these people have us so dependent on going to the grocery stores and you know, and avoiding doing the work ourselves. Again, and I'm not saying this makes me better or wiser. It just was a revelation for me, you know. And again, hopefully this message even helped other people. But again, this is why these people took a lot of this from us. They don't want us to be able to connect the scriptures with the Most High's, you know, his intent, his purpose, you know, and what we should be doing to fulfill those obligations. Which again helps us not only spiritually, but it helps us physically, right? Because we're not eating these things that are, again, genetically modified. These things that are stripped of nutrients and different other things that we need to keep us healthy, mentally and physically, right? But like I said, you know, as I begin to look at this and begin to get into this even deeper, right? Let's jump down. Let's just jump down. And I just want to read this, and then we're gonna, again, I'm gonna try to bring this out and make this make sense as much as possible. Leviticus 23, and we're gonna jump down to verse 23. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, Speak unto the children of Israel, saying, In the 7th month, in the first day of the month, shall ye have a Sabbath, a memorial of blowing of trumpet, and hold a convocation. And again, family, again, you know, most of us, you know, we have already made the connection that you know, we're in the 7th month, even though these people have changed times and laws, right? They have changed it, and now this is the 10th month, right? You know, but all these things were done on purpose. I mean, these people, this is the wickedness of this system. Let's read further. Ye shall do no servile work therein, but ye shall offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And Yahweh spoke unto Moses, saying, Also in the 10th day of the 7th month, there shall be a day of atonement. It shall be a holy convocation to you, and ye shall afflict your souls, and offer an offering made by fire unto Yahweh. And ye shall do no work in that same day, for it is a day of atonement, to make an atonement for you before Yahweh your Elohim. For whatsoever soul it be that shall not be afflicted in the same day, he shall be cut off from among his people. Right? So again, you know, as we read on further and further, you know, you can read this on your own. But again, all this is about a harvest, and not only a harvest, but when the Most High appointed times, when He is telling you He's going to meet with us, right? And He's using the seasons to actually bring awareness. And this is why these people change the times and the laws. again, also, which makes sense when we understand Hamashiach, right? Because you remember, he was put in the grave, right? He was put in the grave, and he was resurrected within 3 days, right? And again, this doesn't apply to all seeds. It applies to certain seeds. But usually the time that it takes a seed to germinate can be anywhere from 3 days to 30 days, depending on what the seed is. But it's all rooted in nature. And again, I just showed you that some of these fruit and these vegetables, you harvest them within 50 days. You get fruit from the seed. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as I begin to see all these things, right? As I begin to see all these things, again, it's not that I have not seen some sense of these things. It's just the more you research and the more you see things, and you go back to nature, you go back to the Most High's creation, you can begin to see things even more so. But the adversary has mucked everything up so bad, has perverted things so much, it really confuses us. It's not only confuses us, but it keeps us off track, right? And it's done intentionally. So anyway, so let's continue. Let's continue. Okay. Tell you what. Since we in Leviticus, right? We in Leviticus. Let's do this. Because again, showing you how this is not just rooted in nature and harvest, but again, all praise the Most High. All praise the Most High. We're in Leviticus, and we're going to go to Leviticus 25. And we're gonna jump around, right? I'm gonna start off at Leviticus 25 and 1, and then we're gonna jump around. And Yahweh spoke to Moses in Mount Sinai, saying, speaking to the children of Israel, and said to them, when ye shall come into the land which I give you, then shall the land keep a Sabbath unto Yahweh. Again, this goes back to what I was saying a second ago. It's like these people, they will not give the land of rest. They will not give it a Sabbath of rest. They're going to keep planting. They're going to spray insecticides and pesticides on it, and rob the land of the nutrients that the seed, right, that the seed need to be able to nurture itself, to be able to feed itself, where it can produce, healthy fruit. So again, let's continue. Let's jump down. Let's jump down to. Give me a second. Let's just jump down to 6. And the Sabbath of the land shall be meat for you, for thee, and for thy servant, and for thy maid, and for thy hind servant, and for the stranger that sojourn with thee, and for the cattle, and for the beasts that are in thy land, shall all increase thereof be meat. And thou shalt number seven Sabbaths of a year unto thee. 7 times 7 in the space of a 7 Sabbaths of every year shall be unto thee 49 years. Then shalt thou cause the trumpet of Jubilee to sound in the 10th day of the 7th month, in the day of atonement. Shall ye make the trumpet sound throughout all your land, and ye shall hallow the 50th year, and proclaim liberty throughout all the land until all the inhabitants thereof. It shall be a jubilee unto you, and ye shall return every man until his possession, and ye shall return every man to his family. Again, when I look at the season, I'm like, hold on, like this is just not. Again, like I said, this is part of your law. You know, not only to harvest, but you're returning things back to their natural order. Again, these people, these people talk about how holy and how righteous this land is and this place is, and it goes against every commandment of the Most High. It goes against everything about from again how to treat the stranger, how to grow food, how to worship the Most High. It's contrary. It's totally contrary against the Most High. But again, most people can't see it because they would rather go to church and be up under a spell than to really sit back and study and do some research. And that's what Hamashiach was doing. He was showing the people not only when he was crucified, but he was buried, and he was, so when they would see the similarity, he was like I said, it takes usually 3 to 5, or three depends on what the seed is, 3 days to 30 days for it to germinate. So they would look at this process like he was in the process of germination, right? And then he returned in 50 days, and again, when you look at this harvest and bearing fruit. So this is why he's bringing up those that would die in him, the first fruit. I mean, it's just anyway, family. Anyway. So again, it's so much more. But again, let's go to Revelation. Let's go to Revelation. It's just so much. So some of you guys may get it, some people may not get it. Those that get it, all praise the Most High. But let's go to Revelation. Let's go to Revelations and give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, family. Okay, we're gonna go to Revelation 22. And he showed me a pure river of water of life, clear as crystal, proceeding out of the throne of Elohim and the Lamb, in the midst of the street of it, and on either side of the river was there the tree of life, which bare 12 manner of fruit, and yield her fruit every month, and the leaves of the tree were for the healing of the nations. Again, and some of you guys may see this and may not see this. When we look at our captivity, and there's a lot of us that just look at our captivity as a form of punishment. But when you look at the nature of the Most High, being that He is the husbandman, again, that's why I say it's so much. There's so many other scriptures. And again, I just really want to get to the gist of it for those that can really grasp it. If He's the husbandman, if all the earth is His and He's the husbandman, that's what a husbandman do. That's what farmers do. They plant seed. And us being planted around the world, that's what the captivity was about. It's about planting us around the world. And once we understand who we are and our duty and our responsibility, even though there's a lot of challenges, we are there to heal the nations. This is what these people don't get. This is what a lot of us don't get. Our captivity was not just about the punishment, but there's a time, right? There's a time when all these things are going to, again, like I say, a good tree, good seed should bear good fruit. And that fruit is to heal the nations. Because remember, in the book of Genesis, Because of Adam listening to his wife, everything fell, right? The ground was cursed. You know, sin was introduced, right? You know what I'm saying? Mankind fell. And this is why Yeshua said that greater things are the things that we're going to do. Again, for those that can grasp it. Again, there are going to be those that really can't see it. Just like some of the people didn't even see who Yeshua was until after his death, burial, and resurrection. And there's people to this day still don't accept, you know, who Yeshua was in the relationship, you know, from the beginning. Because that's a whole nother lesson, a whole nother story within itself. But again, family, this is just what I see. It just jumped out at me. And it all started out then with planting a garden. All planting a garden. And that's what, again, I had a garden in my last house. I got a garden at this house. You know, all the earth is mine. You know what I'm saying? That's the Most High. And it's just, again, this is just what I see. It's my revelation. With that being said, family, as usual, peace and love. Shalom.